Hello everybody, my name is Hammock. Today I'll be doing another demo review of a Highlander engineer named Gramps in RGL Main in North America. The Upward Demo Product Demo. Let me load into the game. So slow. Yeah. Starting with Southern Hospitality, already have to say, I dislike this wrench. It doesn't really matter too much. Just for optimization, Uric Effect and Jag are the better wrenches, but it all comes down to how you use it. I just personally dislike Southern Hospitality because the reason you use the wrench is if you want to fight people and melee them and do extra damage. So, I mean, if you're fighting people with a wrench, that would be interesting. But otherwise, you're just taking extra damage from pyros, and if pyros are aware you're using it, like the spy calls it out, you're going to get hit by a lot of detonator and score shots, and it's going to suck. Because if you're backing out with Rescue Ranger, and you get hit by a flare, the pyro's just going to kill you, because you're taking mini crits and 20% extra fire damage. So, okay, sentry spot a little bit far back, doesn't have much line of sight of a demo or soldier bombing in to deny them. You'd want to have the dispenser to the center of the staircase so that a spy coming up from like the ground can't just walk up and stab the sniper. It also means that the sniper, when they're like playing around stairs, can use the dispenser as armor if they get bombed. Okay, you don't want to play too close here because spy's going to be in now. You just want to be playing your position, keeping an eye out behind you in case there's a spy, because everyone else is keeping an eye in front of you. You don't really need to be upgrading that telly because it's going to get sapped in a second, most likely, because spies just run. Spies just run behind and go for the sap. So now either the spy's immediately backpedaling back, or he's backspawned. But if he's backspawning an official, he's going to get fucking like banned. So spy's going to be on hill or in tunnel roundabout now. So you just want to be keeping an eye on your back. Oh, that soldier kind of spooked me. I thought that was a flying spy. Yeah, like, spies before Ambassador was nerfed would sit in tunnel and just, like, ambi-snipe, because they could just sit and just run to, like, the hill flank to get, like, sustain. But most likely they're just gonna, like, be on a hill waiting for you to potentially back out and go for a pick, because that's safer. If they're cloak and dagger, they could stand on top of that rock. They could stand on top of bats, like, by that little, like, corner. Why are you running back here? Are you backing out? Is your team backing out right now? I'm so curious to why you're doing this. Okay, you're gonna get stabbed. The spy knows you're here and he's gonna stab you in a second. Yep, okay. So, I don't know what you're trying to do there. Also, that spy's running kunai, so he's bad, so you can call out for your team and he'll be easy to spy check. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to do there. Like, I assume you were trying to back out so that you could get a fast setup on seconds, so your team could back out. But you only want to back out when you have people with you. You don't want to do it on your own because the spy is going to be hunting around the hill to go for a reliable pick. Now your team is starting to back out. You don't want to go too far forward here because once your combos are backed out, assume the sniper can just be on hill and peek for free. It's a decent setup. You got the nice octopus hold gun, dispensers in a good spot. I like to put a tele exit up in attic just so that the heavy or the soldier can get up there easy. Mainly the heavy. Okay, you're backing out to hold seconds. I assume this is a shot call from your team just to like play really far back on second. But you really want your gun in front of you, like by where like your demo is standing there, or just leave it forward. You don't need to worry about backing it out too much here because you've got a decent ammo situation on third. You kind of just want to have it create extra time for you. So I'm just going to assume this is a shot call just to back out very passively, but I feel like there could have been more time gained on the second point there. It's a decent spot here. Look out for spy being behind you in choke. I like to spy check that corner area of rockets. Don't underestimate the sentry rockets as a good tool for fighting spies, especially if they're bad and they're using kunai and big earner, because then they're just going to get killed in one shot. That's a decent dispenser spot. Another good dispenser spot is that little doorway you just ran through. between where your gun is to where spiral staircase is, just because it blocks like spy movement, and if there's a very, very aggressive flank from the enemy team, it gives like a nice little like body block to prevent like a soldier just walking through, because sometimes soldiers will like run behind and then get all the way up into like white room like spiral staircase, but it's very unlikely you'll see that. But it's just a nice precaution to have. But this is a good dispenser spot. It used to be great when dispensers could like go through walls, but this is still a decent one. It's very close by, allowing you them to spam. Okay, you could have gone backstab there, so don't go in towards the spy of a wrench. Okay, so you have some hospitality equipped, but you're not using it for the damage, so at this point you should just equip stock wrench. I personally prefer Eureka Effect or Jag. Not Eureka Effect for this point, because there's no like telly value you could be gaining, but wrench is like, I'd just highly recommend just switching to wrench, because there's like no downside to it, and currently you've got a big downside from Sun Hospitality here that you're not fully like, you're not using the upside to Sun Hospitality, so yeah. You should just do stock, basically. Just be conscientious here. Don't play too far back away from your team, because the spy is going to be either coming from shithouse or lingering around choke invisible because no one's there, and there's a bunch of ammo packs that you can just run between with L'étranger and just stay invisible forever. So yeah, expect spy to be behind you around about the... Oh, nice. Good timing. And you got him with the rocket. Nice. Good job. Good way of disposing that bad spy. So you want to be cautious here, especially if, okay, you lost quite a few people on your team there, so look out for aggressive flank pushing up the cart and the sniper walking up on roller coaster. Okay, you should definitely be playing really far back here. Keep the gun wrangled and then try to like harass people as they walk in, but don't be sticking out your head too much like this. Just pressure, try and like get a sneaky rocket underneath like the demo or the medic as they walk in. The sniper just got launched off. Yeah, sneaky rocket under them and then hit them with bullets, so once they leave the ground you just yeet them all the way off the cliff. But otherwise, in those like situations, your gun is going to die, so just make sure that it takes like the most time possible for them to kill your gun. And don't play too exposed for the sniper to headshot you, while also being conscientious of a spy existing in tunnel. Essentially you're fucked, but it's how long it takes them to kill you is the real question. So good setup here. I would, in these kind of situations where it's likely the next push they're going to like get the cap and your team's going to back out, I'd get the gun to like level 2 and then run behind and set up a teleporter in tiles near boxes on last point, just so your team has a better like time holding tiles, because if a combo member dies or a sniper dies, they can just come back up into tiles and it's a better hold. It's much harder to hold last when you don't have like a steady flow of teammates upstairs. Currently, yeah. Just be mindful of potential spies. Whenever the spy dies, he's most likely just going to W all the way like over here, most likely through shithouse, or if he's ballsy, just like run right past the entire team. Look out for spy. There we go. He was definitely going to go in at there. When an Uber happens, that's the perfect distraction, so a spy is going to come in. So when an Uber happens, wrangle your gun, but immediately just check your back. Okay, that's unlucky. Sniper had like free reign there, so there's not much you could really do without playing super passive, so that's fine. Okay, this is where you've died, and they've capped, and there's been plenty of time where your team is down, that the spy could have pretty much ran through and is where you are right now, invisible. So first of all, I'd like press yourself against that dispenser to double check whether it's actually blocking or not. It's quite finicky to get that like dispenser spot, so I'd be checking your back here, especially since you're wrangling. Whenever you wrangle, you want to be like switching, turning around every so often. Check your back. There's some good harass, but yeah, I don't think that dispenser was fully blocking. When you place a dispenser, you want to kind of put it a little bit diagonal, not like fully diagonal, but just a little bit, just because it increases the amount of like distance the dispenser will cover. Because you kind of have to get practice it a bunch, and then like get kind of a feeling for when you know you've set up the dispenser in the right spot, because that spot can be a little bit finicky to like get like I still have problems getting it up like every single time. That's going to be fucking misquoted. So in this particular point, the spy is just going to like go for you and the sniper, because this is a very like good like proximity of value. Like, he could go up into tiles, but it's very easy for the pirate to just spy check and fend off the area, while this area has got the sniper who has a good line of sight, and the engineer who's doing a lot of work here. Ooh, interesting play. So he'll be going through the entire time. So you want to make sure that Spencer is fine, and you want to put your gun in a safe spot where it won't die to just neutral like spam. But what I mean by neutral is like them pressuring without a coordinated push, like a soldier just peeking and firing for rockets. So you want to have your sentry less to the left, like more to the right, tucked in by that window, which is like a safe spot I find, because you can just come from spawn from the shutter and then repair the gun, or on the pub spot on the right. The pub spot is very good, but when you've lost tiles like this and they're pressuring, pub spot can get like spammed out pretty easily because it's in the wind bomb range. But yeah, something I want to touch on is that spy was actually doing a legit strat. That wasn't just a meme. Also, unlucky rocket there. You don't want to play too close to your gun and too close to the wall. Because, okay, if the spy saps the gun... let me actually just pause it here, because I imagine there's a lot of actions about to happen, because it's the last push. So when the spy saps the dispenser, or tries to shoot with his revolver or stab it, it's going to take a while. It's going to take, like, at least, like, 2 seconds to, like, take it down, unless it's, like, already really weak or, like, a level 1. So when he does that taunt, the like initial stabs barely like show up as damage, or I don't think they even do damage if you're like a certain distance away, because I believe the third poke is like a little bit longer distance, but I doubt most spies know that distance to heart. But that stab is like an insta-kill to like destroy buildings and people. So in those situations where he can like sneak in and potentially decloak and undisguise near the dispenser and no one's paying attention, except apparently your sniper who's right there and doesn't know it exists, isn't paying attention for the spidey cloak, you can destroy the dispenser and then immediately like cloak and then pick up all the scraps to get a bunch of cloak charge. So it's a strat to look out for. It's quite uncommon. Not many spies do it, but it's definitely worth using. Like, it's less seen on like Bad Order, for example, just because the staircase is pretty open and exposed to a sightline. But when it's quite out of the way, especially if your sniper is playing up top by boxes, like you have a teleporter set up by boxes on tiles, so you're the only one here, just look out for that. You want to be like keeping an eye, because if a spy comes after you, you're pretty much on your own unless you have like a decent soldier who's like immediately just jumping up to you. But pretty much assume that every fight you're going to be playing on your own versus the spy, which is why I personally like running shotgun instead of rescue ranger. But just keep an eye out. Sorry for my stammers. So, okay, spy walked into the. That's unlucky. Okay, so you're pulling it out and repairing it, which is good strat here. You want to be tanking out of your like wrench here, just because you wouldn't be able to fully tank a lot of shots with your rescue ranger, and you want to save them for if it gets spammed out. Because, okay, another pause here. I should really get like config so I can just pause. But if you're being spammed up by a demo who has like stock or iron bomber or stickies, or a soldier with rocket launch, any of the like normal splash rocket launchers, god, that sound is going to be annoying me now. You want to just be like trying to repair it, and if there's a lock and load or like sticky spam like nearby, you want to back out and repair with like the rescue ranger, because then the splash can potentially kill you. If you're getting hit by direct hit shots, then you want to repair with your wrench, because the wrench will do more repairs than the rescue ranger. But you also need to switch off Jag if you're using Jag, because Jag will repair a little bit like less. But yeah, you'll be able to out repair the direct hit, and because the direct hit has a small splash, there's less chance of you taking damage unless like you're very close to the side it's being spammed from. Yeah, you're getting some good alternations here, but ideally if like you're in a safe spot and it's taking damage, you just want to be repairing your wrench, because you want to save those like crucial rescue ranger bolts for if you suddenly get low and you want to like back out and keep up the repairs. It's nice you're moving it up when it's safe too, so it's still up. It's nice getting that Spencer up. I think, yeah, just double checking. I'd walk on like the side of the stairs and just push against it just to see if you can like fit through, just as like a quick way of testing. This is an okay spot to set up. It's really dangerous though, because like this particular side here, let me just stop roundabout. There's my mouse. Like this, like as you're repairing it here and you're peeking from side to side, the sniper can just like, if they soft push and just have a bunch of people near choke and just they don't fully commit to the push, but they just like bodyguard around the sniper, he can take out this gun or like pressure you trying to like repair the gun quite easily, which is why it's a lot more reliable to have your gun over in pub spot, which is by the little boxes to your right there, right at the end of the sniper's barrel, or to the right, like on the other side of this little rail area by the window, because then it's easier to repair. You're not like fully exposed to like a sniper peeking through choke, and yeah, it's just generally safer. So I'd say like a good like reliable sentry spot is just like in the center area, just for like if you don't know if the sniper's in choke, or if you don't know if there's going to be like any like random pressure, or if you just want to set up the gun quickly, just it's safe just to set up in like the middle part. It's also good to spread out away from like your sniper, because in this position, if the demo and soldier started spamming the gun, they'd be pressuring you, the gun, and the sniper and get a lot of value. So you want to make them like make the hard choice. Do they want to kill the sniper or do they want to kill the gun? But I think that might just be a communication with your sniper. I think he just likes sitting around this area. It's more beneficial for the sniper to be looking from this angle than your gun looking from this angle, essentially. So on this last point, I would probably switch to shotgun, just because you're going to be worried mainly about the spy lingering around. Wow, I thought that was like a late kill on a spy on the Spencer for a second. You want to be like watching around for a spy incursion, so shotgun is nice to have here. Yeah, you should also be worried about jumping around like this, because whenever you're jumping near the staircase, you're also peeking a sightline by choke. Okay, now you want to probably move the gun, because they've got a very like strong position here to like harass it. That's a good sentry rocket, pushing the stickies away. I like that, and you're backing up to repair it. That's good technique. I like it. Yeah, like if the enemy can just walk in and pressure the gun here without exchanging a lot of resources, then you should probably just move your gun back. That's unlucky there. The soldiers walked in and pressured. I think as soon as you saw the rocket like coming in from like a very close position, you should just run away. Instead of him like killing you and the gun, just let him take the gun and then back off and switch to minis and spawn. And yeah, if you had time to like go block the cart here, I'd say switch to minis, drop a sentry on your way, and just like rush to the cart to like block time. Yeah, that was an okay hold. There was like a lot of good techniques there with the sentry rockets, trying to clear the stickies and harass the spy. So to start of the round here, you always want to just press your face against the shutter, get some good information. It may not always be fruitful, but anytime you're looking out at the shutter, you're getting more information than you are just running around here. But this is just the, as I've said on other reviews, this is just the subconscious thing where everyone's chatting, having post-game or post-round, like, okay, what can we do better? What can we do against this team? What was messing us up? So everyone's just kind of idly chatting and running around and bunny hopping and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, just jumping around. But ideally you want to just stare outside the shutter. You could potentially see where the demo is setting up traps, most likely on the left. You want to see if the spy messes up with his cloak and dagger, runs out of a little bit of charge and exposes himself briefly. Check out, see if sniper is aggressive on the right. Maybe they've got a forward like anti-air sentry. You want to be checking for spies here. The spy's most valued pick here would be going for the medic pick or the sniper pick, so be mindful of where your sniper is or where they're going to be, and just expect there to be a spy nearby. You want to be checking on top of the right side of the spawn. You want to be checking that back area on the right there, because basically no one checks there, so it's a good time for the spy to decloak. You want to check the left side as you're pushing the car on the rocks, like by like the Frank West decloak spot. I like this harass here with your scouts, getting some good pressure, and be pushing up the cart here while your team is pushing them back with your Uber. You switching loadout? Okay. Oktoberfest. I like having dispenser on the left side, by where like the heavy usually sits, just so that in the neutral like time when you're building Uber, the heavy and the pyro don't have to worry about running out of ammo. There's some nice payload time there, but now it's pretty lethal to push up the cart, so this is more just like spy checking, waiting for both teams to build Uber, and for trying to keep an eye on your sniper and your medic so they don't get like stabbed by the sneaky Frenchman. That, or potentially go for a sniper pick yourself by climbing up on rocks and jumping on top of like deck to like go after the sniper. Which looks like you're doing that. Or meat shot. Oh, and you get it with the follow-up soldier. Oh, that's really good. I like that. That was a good pick. Okay, that's definitely a spy. Nice, you got him. So you should probably call out the spy, especially if you know someone's a spy. If you have a good feeling, just call them out. And a good way of calling them is like start with spy, say the class they're disguised as, and then say the location. So you want to say like spy sniper cart or spy sniper point. I just want to preface that because either you didn't call them out, or the heavy on the cart was just so confident in your ability to kill the spy, he didn't even bother turning around. But it's a good thing to know. You just want to be pushing up the cart, get that optimal speed run time. It looks like you've also pretty much crushed this point here, so it may be worth just going back and setting up an entrance on your new forward spawn. Yeah, here you just want to get as much time as possible, especially after you've just capped the point, because this like little corner to the right, pushing the car up, like, is very, very dangerous because the sniper on roller coaster can just murder everybody, because like the cart is pushing a little bit downhill, so there's like very little cover from standing behind the cart. So you want to be pushing that up before it like lingers too long. Here you want to probably switch to, actually you want to definitely switch to recruit effect so that you can get the faster teleporter, especially if the exit goes down. Just saves time ultimately building the teleporter. A lot of spies running kunai for some reason. That telly's alright, but it's a bit exposed and quite easy for a spy to just go for a sap and not get punished. A good place for the telly is by the staircase by sewers, like on that like second level. As it like turns around from the staircase, you have it against the wall, like in the corner. Good spy chasing, don't walk up the staircase next time. Even if you know he's going for a stair stab and you're looking out for it, this game is bullshit when it comes to backstabs, and you'll still get face stabbed anyway in like 90% of cases. So just stay at the bottom of the staircase and shotgun him for being a bad spy and not using the ambassador on you. Going for the shithouse flank, I'd say it's more value here just to push the cart and have your cart, have your gun like a more passive position, just to like, so if anyone goes to block the cart, they're getting hit by mini sentry damage. But good attempt. The gun was wrangled. The gun wasn't wrangled, I mean, so it was going to kill you. If it was wrangled, then you could potentially go for like 2 shotgun shots. If you want to go for like a play from shithouse there, I'd recommend going either Thompson or Fronted Justice with a crit, but obviously that requires someone to feed and for you to like then switch to Fronted Justice, in which it's probably going to get called out. The fact that you've got a big glowy shotgun, unless you are smart and like whip out pistol and then sneak. But Thompson is a good play for these kind of neutral times where the car is like up as far as you can get it without like potentially like dying. So this is a good mini spot. You want to have it like there, or maybe a little bit forward by like the wooden planks as it descends into under. Yeah, keep getting a cart time here. You want ×3 as soon as the Uber exchange happens. Yeah, and the neutral, when both teams are building Uber and you're like about to go in for an Uber push, you could like potentially go in and poke the medic with a Thompson. He doesn't have full charge anymore, and then your team can push in and you've got like a short amount of time before you can potentially kill the medic before they can get enough Uber to use. As you're pushing this cart here, you should be checking your back because the spy is going to stab you. It's like you want to be always crouching behind the cart, but since your scout is looking forward, you can check the back. So yeah, whenever there's a group of people on your team, you want to always be checking behind because the pyro wants to be looking for the like just burning people at the front and looking for like projectiles to deflect and a soldier bomb. So as the second spy checker of the team, or at least the second dedicated spy checker of the team, you can be checking behind, since unless you're using short circuit to clear the front, but sadly that's banned in most leagues. Yeah, this is some decent pressure here. The cart's already into the lethal zone, where pushing it anymore is going to be dangerous. So we're going for a flank. Oh, that was close. Nice. Yeah, that was a close fight. Add potential. So you just want to get your telly up here. And once you have your telly up, just keep pressuring the flank, give your sniper some space to make plays, or when the Uber exchange happens, just get some cart time. Looks like your team is doing pretty well. The spy's taking out the enemy NG, so it looks like this is just going to be a bunch of cart time. You also need to be checking the scoreboard, like, constantly. I can't tell if scoreboard actually shows up in demos, because I haven't seen it pop up before. And I'm pretty sure people check scoreboard. But just in case it doesn't show up, just in case it does show up and you just haven't, just always be checking scoreboard just so you can see what people are down. Because if there's a lot of people down, you can be like, oh shit, let's just walk in and cap. Or you can be paying attention to when the spy like dies and like how long it takes them to respawn and be like, oh, they're on dead ringer. Or when the spy is up, then you can estimate, like, especially when you're holding on defense, if the spy's died and he's like up for like 6-7 seconds, he's probably already in position by now, especially if he took a teleporter. But that was a good pressure. That was a good push there on the heavy. I'd have waited a little bit, like reload 2 more of your shotgun shots before going in on that demo. Or you could just hard commit with the pistol if you're super confident in your pistol aim. That was a good heavy pick there. Getting these like neutral like flank pushes is pretty nice. I think here you just want to walk on cart because it's so close. And maybe get like a shotgun shot at someone coming from spawn. Nice. That's a good push. That was really good. I liked a lot of the techniques and I liked your flank DM there. Let's check out the next game on Pro. Review Gramps. Okay, let's need to rest my jaw a little bit. Okay, good teleporter. I want to just like do it as quick as possible. Nice telly exit, I like it. The golden telly spots are like that cliff one, the one inside house, or the one on Japan. But the one on Japan is like pretty tricky to get up consistently. This is some nice harass here. Spy has been taken out by a pirate, so you need to worry about that too much. You want to get your dispenser up as soon as possible. Oh, NG flank here. The battle of the NGs. Nice. Good one so far. I usually like to build mini on here, like the start of the mid, just go straight onto concrete. Just to zone potentially as NG or a scout running behind, because if that is fully exposed, then a soldier could go behind and jump up onto like China and then just bomb your team from behind. Or just run behind and go to spawn and take out your teleporter and potentially spawn camp people. If you want to have like your flanks covered. But going cliff is also a totally valid one, it just depends on the team. Like Clark from Clark in EU goes the cliff mini sentry Wrangler hold a lot to like counter soldiers jumping cliff and going behind. Which leads me to call the engineer on cliff hold the Fortress of Solitude. Yeah, this is some like good zoning here. Nice pressure on that scout, he took 99 damage. Fucking wrecked, kiddo. Oh, telly, call out telly for spy cliff. Or spy going lower, he's going to be on Spencer. You just want to be cautious here for a spy. Ooh, going for a potential flank. You could get that medic pick. Oh, unlucky, the NG was pressuring you out. Let's look out for spy nearby. You went for the sniper. That soldier was like, you took my health back. Okay, some decent pressure here. Cal, you don't want to be caught in the corridor when the soldier exists, just because it's kind of a death sentence. Even if you think going for that small health pack is worth it in a DM fight, you're going to take way more damage. So it's just unfortunate. Okay, you want to be checking for Spy. Spy could be in that little like pipe area as you went through that corridor to the left. Spy could also be up on top of windows by a cliff. You can stand on those ledges. Spy could also be like on the stovepipe there. Oh, I see you going for that. You can actually stand on a mini and then place it on Japan. You don't want to put the sentry too far to the right because there's like blocks, and you don't want to spend too much time trying to build it when an active fight is happening because you're gonna get run down. Ooh, this soldier going for the pog play. Spy could also be, yep, nice, and also on those boxes on the right. There's a lot of Spidey quick spots here. A decent mini. It's generally safer just to put the telly in shack or on cliff, just because Japan takes so much prep, unless you're like really practiced at doing it. And even then, it's not even a perfect telly, because it can be camped by like a sniper. There's a Spidey cloak there. Check your back. There could be a spy going for medic or sniper. Also, while you're waiting around, you can spy check those corners. There's a lot of decoy spots on this map. It's a very terrifying terrifying to play medic map, just because of that and lots of other things. Here you want to definitely put your dispenser up, because going back to spawn to set up your telly isn't as important here. Like, you can upgrade the telly when you respawn. The dispenser and the mini sentry are very important. Getting like that mini sentry to like zone and like pressure some people. Dispenser is very important here, so your demo, Pyro and Heavy, can continue to deal damage. You don't need to worry about having your telly super high level all the time, because especially bad spies, like European spies, they'll be camping your teleporter all day, and that is a nice, satisfying kill to see. Probably because that spy is still running kunai, so he's quite easy to kill. But don't you love just frontier justicing a spy? It feels great. Oh, that's unlucky. Got some good pressure on the sniper, but never mind, he died. I'm gonna say that's worth. You distracted the sniper and he still died. That's worth. Also, a interesting thing to talk about, since there's a lot of just like, it's mainly just fighting here. There's not too much tech to talk about, but a useful bit of tech for NG is the death cam, where when you die, it's meant to spectate your buildings, but in competitive config, it doesn't let you do that. It doesn't let you do like third-person cams. It just like only lets you spec your team like first person, and it tries to like spec your gun, but it can't. So the camera just gets locked where you are when you died. So in some of these neutral things where it's like, my telly is up, my gun's up, my dispenser's up, nothing's really going on, I'm gonna go for a pick. If you die like near where the medic is, or where like potentially the spy could be, then you can get some good information by like dying, and then while you're waiting for your respawn to come up, you can just see everything. You can see, oh, the medic suddenly just got full charge. You can see, like, if you die in a choke point somewhere, you could see potentially a spy like cloaking and then walking in, and then you can call like spy time on medic in 4 seconds, or spy cloaked running through now, or some other shorter, concise call that would be not trash to say. But yeah, it's less of a like OP strat, but it's something just to like consider if you're going to go in and die as an NG, that you can use that value death cam. Yeah, this is like neutral fight, worrying about the spy just being an asshole the entire game. Good forward mini spot here. You just want to keep capping, pressuring with your team, try not to die, pressure out the spy. Good job. Just build up your dispenser again. It's just a lot of setting up dominoes, essentially. You want to have the telly up to keep your sniper and heavy happy. You want to have your dispenser up to keep everyone happy. It's always going to get destroyed and taken down, and you just have to keep rebuilding. And in between that, you want to potentially go for picks, go for cap time, and look out for spies. So Payload tends to be more interesting when it comes to just talking about like tech and, you know, actual engineering. But when it like, while Product is fun and a lot of King of the Hill maps is fun, it's mainly just, you know, managing like chores when you're playing NG. Just always making sure that all your buildings are up, working, and then they good position while also trying to be an extra pair of hands for your team. Like, all my stuff is up, I guess I'll help the flank. Oh, the combo needs a spy check, I guess I'll do spy checking. Oh, the soldier keeps going cliff, I'm gonna put a mini up on cliff. Oh, the scout keeps running behind on concrete, I'll put a mini on concrete. You're just like constantly just juggling like what is the most worrisome thing for your team and trying to figure out a way to deal with it. You're just going, you're a handyman, you're going around fixing stuff. So you don't necessarily have to go to spawn here to build your telly. Also, this is an annoying bug which I really wish they would fix, where if you stand near the door at all or inside the door, sometimes the wrench hits just won't hit because I assume it just detects you're like behind the wall, like behind an entity. Yeah, don't worry too much about upgrading your teleporter because the spy can take it out with ease. You can either go to spawn or you can go to where the telly is. If you want to chat on a spy who's being an asshole to your telly, just go have a Euchre effect to load out with a shotgun. And then he created. Nice, good job. And then if you're at spawn and he's on the exit sapping it, you can just teleport to your exit with Euchre effect, which goes through sappers, and then just fucking shotgun the dude down, or even telefrag him if he's bad and standing on top of the exit. It's great. Yeah. This mini's okay. You could have it like very close by the concrete like doorway there. I can't remember what it's actually called. Connector. I think it's connector. I can't remember. I just avoided the name of the call out in my head. Rip. Maybe he's down. That's a decent mini sentry since it pressures the point. Other than that, all your buildings are doing fine. So you can make the choice, do you want a spy check or do you want a flank? Looks like you're going for that good pistol harass, always nice. That's an okay mini sentry, especially if you expect them to like bomb behind. Oh, taken out from downtown. Man. Oh, look out for that scout. One scout got shot. Okay, phew. Yeah. That's terrifying when you're low health and you have frontal justice crits and you want to lose them. Okay, yeah. Sorry if I'm repeating a lot of things, but there's not as much. Oh, fucking destroyed. Oh, frontal justice is just so nice. I rarely see people use it, and whenever I use it, I always like fucking go in and miss all my shots with my twitchy, terrible aim. So seeing someone just get frontal justice is so fucking kissing my fingers like an Italian. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, the frontal justice flank. Oh, it looks like they're already getting destroyed. No, heavy down. Yeah, you're crushing it right now. I think there's as much I can like glean from this because it seems like your team is just doing really well on this map. And it's hard to like ascertain. There's a Spidey poke. He went for the mini. Oh, he actually went for the trick stab like a Dumbo instead of like. Yeah, that's why I should have just gone for your sniper who isn't wearing a Razorback, or your medic. The fact that he went for a mini shows his priorities are obviously that you are the most terrifying thing in this game. It's like, yeah, it's hard to like really give you extra advice in a winning game like this, but so far from what I've seen, you're doing pretty good. Oh, that's unlucky for the spy. Expect him to run towards an ammo pack here or to a safe place like up on top of the house where he go for a trick stab, since you can kind of meta game at this point and be like, he's got kunai equipped, he's going for trick stabs, he's probably just going to go for every opportunity to matador and stair stab you. So if you find him, just assume him to like run up to like a high ground area, decloak and go for a trick stab. He keeps going for the mini. He's so scared right now. Ooh. I'd like back out, wait for your team to regroup here, keep the frontier justice crits, wait for your team to be regrouped so that you can go for some kills, and then your team can immediately follow up and take the point. So you don't want to like go in and then like kill someone and be like, guys, I killed them. And it doesn't matter because like by the time your team goes in and has people around, they've already respawned. But that's some good pressure. Doing a good job protecting your sniper here. I think in RGL, Razorback might actually be banned, so that's probably why he's bad and dying to that spy. And it's not bad. He was doing all right sniping there. It's just unlucky. can't remember what the whitelist is for RGL, so the Razorback might actually be banned, which sucks because it's actually not OP. So you got some good pressure, you got a kill streak on your mini sentry. Ooh, unlucky Twitch miss. Yeah. Good round. Question mark? Config. Okay. Well, that was a good. You did a lot of good things on the product there, and there wasn't a lot of things that you did incorrect. But then again, it's hard to give good insight into what you can do better in a game where you're crushing. So that's all I can really say. But I think you're doing pretty fucking good as an Ninja. And yeah, it's just a lot of just being mindful of where the spy is at all times. I used to be a lot better at keeping track of where the spy is, but then spy got into speed buff like increase, and that fucked with me. But basically, you wanna, like, if you can, just find some STVs of like invite matches and such with spies, and then just spec them, and then get like a good idea, or like free cam, and then just spec where the point is, and just get a good internal time of like, if a spy is holding W while invisible, how long will it take till from the gates opening or from him respawning to him to get to you? And then you can have a good like breath time of like, okay, we just killed the spy. We've got about like fucking 6 seconds until he respawns, and then like 10 seconds before he gets here, in which you can be more mindful of looking out for soldier, because spy time is one thing, but looking out for the soldier is a whole nother thing, especially if it's like a really aggressive sixes soldier who just goes for like bombs and shit. So just being mindful of who is your active priority, who you're going to worry about, looking out for sniper sight lines and such. Yeah, it's also a lot of like just general team problems. Like, it felt like on that upward defense, there was a lot of times where you could have held longer, but I think maybe there was just a shot call to like back out, and it was just more of a wasted opportunity. But yeah, I'd say just the crucial thing to improve on is paying attention to when spy exists, and making sure not to run into any of their traps, and try to stay near your team as much as possible, and not like run away and try to be separate in the attempt to, like, you know, play smart. But in that process, you're playing. This is too convoluted. I was mainly trying to refer to that first point where you backed out on your own and then got killed by a spy. Basically, just if you're going to back out, ask for a soldier or a scout to come with you. Like, if you want to back out like ahead, so that your team can then back out to like a fully set up second point, or just wait for your team to back out. In which point you can like run back and then like rescue injure the building, or you can still be in on first point but just get out by using your recruit effect, like back spawn, and then like set up. Yeah, other than that, just like just small things like not using Sun Hospitality unless you just personally like it and you want to say, fuck you, Hammock, I really like Sun Hospitality, in which case I respect your opinion. You're just wrong. No, I'm fine. You can just, like, if you're not going to like wrench people, I just recommend just going wrench. It's safe. Or you can use Jag, or you can use Eureka Effect, or you can use any reskin, which is essentially wrench. In which case, you should use Pretty Machete, because it looks the coolest. Unless you have a golden pan, in which case, fuck you. But yeah, hope this has been helpful. Hope I didn't ramble too much about too much similar things, or I didn't get caught up on tripping up on words. But thank you for submitting the demo. If anyone else has a demo they'd wish me to review of Engineer Highlander gameplay, because I'm very specific, feel free to message me or comment and then like add me on Steam. Yeah, hopefully you guys found this video useful, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, thank you Gramps for the demo, and I'll see you next time.